there's a little section where I want to turn you know, a relatively ordinary section into something a bit special. I feel like that needs bigger drop, so there's some real drums in here, which is this. And I'm gonna do something with that. I don't know what yet. So I've froze the track, inserting an audio track below it, because I'm gonna basically resample this just by alt dragging, and then I'm gonna mute the original section. So I've still got that if I need to go back, and then I've got this version of it that's bounced down with all the previous effects and stuff, and I'm gonna mess with that really. So yeah, looped it up. I feel like maybe some kind of weird flanging effect would be really cool, just to add, like, basically add the weirdness factor for that one bit of the song, and then create a bit of a build out of that. What should I do? Eventide instant flanger, always interesting. So I'll add that. There we are. So let's look at some presets, which is kind of a good starting point. It's kind of interesting. It's taken a bit of the low end out. So I'm going to stick with that. Now I'm going to use an echo, I think, just to kind of give it a bit of extra strangeness. So I really like Ableton's echo. Let's go triplet on one side. So let's filter through that top end. Let's go for a ping pong. I'm going to put it over the top of the existing signal. What I'm really just looking to do is add something just for that one bar that's kind of going to pop out, add a little bit of intensity that's going to build into that drop. So kind of part way there, I think. Let's have a look. Quite like that. I feel like I'm going to need to make it a bit more dirty. So I'm going to get a saturation plugin, everyone's favourite. Soft tube saturation knob, nice and simple. Yeah. Quite like that. I'm going to group these together, and then I'm going to add another chain. So we've got one effects chain with all those things on it, a new effects chain, and I'm going to put a simple distortion and then a spring reverb. And it's going to be a mono spring reverb, I think, because I quite like how that's going to interact with the wide effect there. So let's just go for a simple overdrive, whack it on that chain, solo that for now, make it darker. But for the convolution reverb I'm just going to use for now, which is just a more simple one. I'm going to go to springs, dull tape delay string, make it wet, 100%. And then, oh yeah. So without the reverb, but with it, it's adding quite a lot of drama. Cool, so let's just listen to just the drums. I'm going to insert track. Freezing is an option. Freeze, flatten, or another way is set a new audio track up. I'm going to use resample. Now I wonder if these 4 little hits that this drum track's, little snare hits. So I'm happy with that. That's quite a cool little sound. Because what I'm going to do now is take just those 4 snare hits and make them into louder, heavier bit. So again, the track's frozen, so I can just alt and drag that down, or option drag. And I've currently got this with spring reverb 100% wet. Quite like that. And the distortion. So if we add that, that's going to make that drum fill even better. That's cool. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Wonder what it's like adding an EQ to this, because it's very bright. So EQ, yeah, roll off quite a lot of that top. Doesn't need all of that. So just the drums, and you'll hear how it all fits together. Still got a bit of edge, it's not too clean, and it's just a bit, it's in keeping with this track, which is edgy and a bit live and a bit kind of vintagey, I guess, so it's not too clean. So I kind of like using delays and echoes that are mimicking older gear, like a spring reverb, for example. You know, much more of a kind of 60s, 70s vibe. If this is more of a more like modern pop tune, I would have been a whole different kettle of fish in the effects I'm using and the type of sounds. But I also like using source material for making weird stuff. You know, rather than dropping in a sample, you can get riser samples, or you can use white noise or something. It's quite cool, but this is more organic. You know, this drum fill, you know, is just a dirty version of the drums that are already there, so it adds a layer and it makes it a bit more subtle, rather than adding a new load of new drums, programming in a new drum fill, which is, again, nothing wrong with that necessarily, but for a track like this, it's just to create smaller moments that don't make it feel like it's got tons and tons of layers and it's over-engineered for the genre. So it's really kind of matching the production to the music. Hope that was useful.